Dear two-dimensional diary, today I played Terraria Journey's End, and it was the absolute worst game ever created. Oh, I saw a thumbnail and thought it was a friendly review. Well, I lied. It's 1 out of 100. You've been 0 out of 100. And now you're stuck with me forever. Like trapped, finished, done, eaten. That's roughly what I experienced at the very first day, running around fluffy bunnies, sparkling sunflowers, cutesy slimes, right up to the nightfall when the game shows its true face. And I remember being pleasantly surprised that they didn't make it completely safe for those sensitive children, like Mojang did with Minecraft. God damn it, why did I mention Minecraft? Now I'll have to elaborate, demonstrate and prove all the differences, write a 100-page essay when this topic is already beaten down. Yeah, that's quite a pickle. Oh, I know, I want to show you something. Please look right over here. I think I completed Terraria fully 3 times. The first one was around 2017 and the second 2 weeks before Journey's End, because I'm an idiot and I thought it already came out, which wasn't the case. I had an acquaintance with me who were playing Terraria for the first time, so I felt something like obligation to continue since we started in my world. And even so, it felt surprisingly refreshing to start Terraria again just as I finished it. It was like a second breath. There is plenty of new content to absorb, and throughout the classic part of the game up to the Wall of Flesh, there was not a single dull moment for me. It flies by nicely as you explore, figure out where to settle, until an overwhelming amount of dead bodies of your previous selves creates a graveyard. Gradually building your character out of items you find is extremely satisfying, and every scouting trip is like its own little adventure. And when you are finally tired of adventuring, now you can play golf. I heard it's quite popular now. Great timing, guys. Underground deserts now, more mysterious and terrifying than ever, thanks to new amazing soundtracks and rolling cactuses. A new NPC zoologist, wink wink, sells you the very first whip you can get. And of course a whole bunch of light fursuits. It works about the same as Gateway Drug. First you have these cute bunny ears, and then before you notice you are wearing a full fish suit outdoors. There are a lot of new items and reworks, and my personal favorite is Magic Missile. I always been fascinated by ability to fully control your spell with the mouse, but before it was very slow and ineffective and mostly was used by me to just show off. Now it's homing, more clever and a little bit unfair maybe, but I just love it too much. And it's easily the best choice for main magical weapon throughout the middle part of the game. I mean, if we count Flame Lash and Rainbow Road as direct upgrades. Alchemy. I just love how every plant is unique and has its own rules and grows in specific locations, and you just throughout the game figuring out how it all works and how eventually you master it and abuse it to your own benefit. Something like Deathweed that only blooms at full moon, so you have to always look at the sky and determine the stages of the moon by an eye. Or something like Moonglow that you need to— I think it's all trash. What? Eskill? How did you get here? I just heard you blabbing about alchemy again, and I think it's just a waste of time. All you need is skill and sturdy sword. Yeah. Could you please help me mine some hellstone? Sure. Do you need obsidian skin potion? I have extra. No, I told you. Yeah, okay, let's go. Where was I? Ah yes, alchemy is a great tool to ease your life in this world. At the same time, it's not necessary, right Eskill? I guess he went on his usual Witcher stuff, but it's certainly extremely useful if you learn the craft. Oh yeah, and this playthrough we started on the new Master difficulty, and I thought it would be something like description said.
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over.
But it actually wasn't so bad. We only had difficulty in the end with Empress of the Light, but who didn't have difficulty with her? First we tried to defeating her conventionally on normal arena. Then there was an idea about teleporting back and forth, which didn't work out. Then in the sky we decided to build a road out of asphalt, the size of the whole world, and we attached an activator to every block so it would be openable for stars to fall through. Surprisingly, opening it didn't drop my server, as well as barely helped fighting Empress. But eventually we overpowered her anyway, mostly due to better weapons and a bit of luck. In Terraria almost every boss is like a problem you need to solve, and success often determined by the setup, by the arena you have to build, and it's very fun. There's not much bad things to say about this game. Closer to the end it becomes more chaotic, and Celestial Pillars are just a chore to kill because of the fact that it's so long, unrewarding, and really boring. Events would be my second pick in the previous version. They must have changed the frequency of those because I wasn't annoyed at them as I were before. Oh yeah, and there was a little controversy around a new secret effect called luck. Now if you put a torch in the wrong biome, it will make drop rate 20% less. It became well known through Reddit posts that complained about the unfairness of this situation, and thanks to one of my acquaintances I eventually knew about it too, where most of my caves were stuck up to the brim with normal torches and were considered unlucky. I personally fine with the idea, but in the game there is no way to learn about it, so if you want to have your own little experience and not looking up on wiki every day, you're kind of screwing yourself over. 2 days pass after I learned it, and in the new update they remove it. And soon after writing a torch god, something like a reference or a joke. That's great. For comparison, in Civilization 6 that came out in 2016, there is still a bug for Peter the Great that completely ruins the experience of multiplayer, and every random person just uses it. And I have a feeling it will never be fixed. So good job Relogic, amazingly fast reaction. But you know what would be really funny? Imagine if luck is not actually functional and it's all just a big fake. I'm sure there could have been a way to do it in code, like put a little deceiving variable somewhere that turns everything off, then nudge some people to write an article on wiki or write it yourself, but I guess it's too much effort. I just find something really amusing to imagine people putting gnomes everywhere like old lunatics, killing off poor guide, building bloody shrines, arguing about torches, hunting for ladybugs, and all for nothing. Kind of a social experiment, or maybe more of a evil mockery of superstition. This whole story is just a nice little example when developers care about the community, and I will be looking up for Relogic's new big projects for certain. They made fitting and really wholesome update for the great sandbox game and RPG game with a lot of interesting ideas. It took me 154 hours to complete and mess around a little, and I give Terraria 85 out of 100.